4 scattered files can turn a 30-minute interview into 15 minutes of tab switching before the candidate even joins. If you run a small team and interviews mean opening a CV, hunting through Gmail, rereading application answers, and checking role requirements at the last minute, this is for you. You will build an AI briefing bot that turns those inputs into one evidence-linked interview packet. Most recruiting AI demos start by scoring or rejecting people. That is the risky part to automate first. By the end, you will have a safer workflow that prepares the human better. I'm Nazar, and I build these human-approved systems for clients daily. Let's start with the boundary that keeps this useful. The goal is not to let an AI decide who gets hired. The goal is to stop your hiring manager from walking into an interview half-prepared, because the information is spread across Gmail, calendar events, cloud folders, forms, and an ATS export nobody has opened recently. For a small team, that problem is expensive in a quiet way. You lose time before each call, ask candidates questions they already answered, miss important context in an email thread, and make decisions from incomplete notes. Hiring another coordinator may be too slow or too expensive. Generic recruiting software may not fit the exact process you already use. And trying ChatGPT manually does not solve the real problem, because ChatGPT is not collecting the right context from your systems at the right time. Here is the workflow boundary. This bot prepares the interviewer. It does not assign a candidate score, reject anyone, move someone through a hiring stage, or send a candidate-facing message on its own. Every hiring decision remains human-owned. That gives you a useful first automation without creating a black box filter that introduces bias, compliance risk, or a bad candidate experience. On screen, I am starting with 4 inputs. First is the calendar event, because that tells the system an interview is actually happening, who the interviewer is, when it starts, and ideally, the candidate name or email address. Second is the candidate CV, usually attached in Gmail or stored in a designated folder. Third is the application form response, which may come from a form tool, spreadsheet, ATS export, or the original email. Fourth is the role scorecard, the requirements for this specific role, including the must-have skills, evidence to look for, interview responsibilities, and questions that matter. Do not skip the scorecard. Without it, the model can produce a polished summary that has no connection to what you are hiring for. A good scorecard can be a simple document or spreadsheet with 5 fields: role title, must-have requirements, nice-to-have requirements, nice-to-have requirements, concerns to verify, and interview areas. Keep it short enough that a hiring manager would actually use it. For example, a customer support role could require fluent written English, experience handling customer tickets, and familiarity with a specific industry. The concerns to verify field might include availability, time zone overlap, and examples of handling difficult customers. Next, create one clean identifier for every candidate. Email address is the most reliable choice. If your calendar event has only a name, your workflow can still work, but matching becomes less safe when 2 people share the same name. The practical fix is to standardize your event title. Use a format like interview candidate name, candidate email, or include the email in the event description. This is not glamorous, but reliable automation starts with boring, consistent inputs. Now we build the trigger. The system checks for upcoming calendar events with an interview label, for example, 30 or 60 minutes before the meeting begins. When it finds one, it extracts the candidate email, candidate name, interviewer name, role title, event time, and meeting link. If any critical item is missing, do not let the agent guess. Send the interviewer a short exception notice instead. Candidate email missing. Briefing not generated. Here is the event to fix. Silent guessing is how automations create embarrassing failures. Once the trigger has the candidate identity, it searches Gmail. The search should be narrow. Search for messages from or to the candidate's email address. Then prioritize recent threads and threads with labels such as applications, recruiting, or interviews. If the CV arrived as an attachment, download the latest relevant PDF or document. If the candidate sent multiple versions, keep the newest file and list the older version as a source rather than blending them together. This is where document extraction matters. A PDF is not automatically usable context. Extract its text, preserve page references where possible, and keep the original file link. The same applies to application answers from a form or ATS export. Pull only the fields the interviewer needs: work history, key answers, salary or availability if your process permits it, portfolio links, and anything the candidate explicitly stated. Do not dump every email and every document into the model. That creates noise, raises cost, and makes it harder to verify where a claim came from. On screen, the automation now has a small structured payload: calendar details, CV text, application answers, role scorecard, and selected email history. Before calling the model, I add source labels. For example, CV page 2, application response dated March 4th, email thread dated March 6th, and role scorecard version 1.3. This is the difference between a useful briefing and an AI-generated opinion. The interviewer should be able to see what evidence supports each statement. The prompt needs to be strict. I am not asking the model, is this candidate good? That question invites it to make a hiring decision. Instead, I ask it to produce a one-page interview briefing in a fixed structure. Start with a 2-sentence candidate snapshot using only supplied evidence. Then list matched evidence against each must-have requirement. Then list missing or unverified evidence. Then list possible inconsistencies or red flags that require human verification, not conclusions. Then generate 5 role-specific interview questions based on the scorecard and the candidate's actual background. Finally, include a sources section with links or document references. A useful instruction in the prompt is, if the information is not in the supplied sources, write unknown. Do not infer it. See examples of what we ship for clients at bizflowai.io. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so you catch the next AI automation breakdown, where I show the next piece of a human-approved operations system. And if your team has a hiring workflow buried across Gmail, calendars, and folders, book a free 30-minute discovery call at bizflowai.io.